Sup peeps, welcome back or welcome to the channel. My name is Ian and I sell books on eBay. Today I've got about a dozen orders going out and something that really bugs me. I don't know if it should. I come across it quite often, and yesterday once again stumbled across this scenario and it just really annoys me. Anyway, let's look at some orders. Got a nice eclectic mix going out today, so I'll show you what has sold in the last 24 hours, what it's sold for, and have a bit of a moan about something at the same time. Can't be a good moan, can you? Anyway, first up we have J.D. Kirk, who has been a very popular author for me recently, since I started picking him up. This is a signed copy of one of his books, The Killing Code, signed by the author. There we go, signed by him, and that sold for £12.16. Quite nice for a little paperback. Another not bad little paperback, Horus Heresy, Warhammer 40k. This one's not in the best nick, so listed as such, and because of that it only sold for £8.73. I think both of those books went out with a 10% off offer, so a wee bit less than I would have got otherwise, but still, for a couple of paperbacks, that's a cracking little price. Next, now we've got two bundles of these going out today, but this is the first one. It is Martina Cole. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, two big hardcovers, three paperbacks, £15.24 for the 5 of those, so that's obviously going to be a bigger parcel to get posted out. Charge more because it's the hardcovers, but I'm quite happy when it goes with a couple of hardcovers, because to be honest, typically with Martina Cole, 5 paperbacks would be over the 2 kilos anyway, so get a wee bit extra money in to cover the extra postage. £15.24 for that lot. Let's stick them down there. Next, another bundle, and this time it is Mr. David Williams. So 1, 2, 3, we'll get 4 of these going out. There we go, nice wee bundle of hardcovers and a little paperback on the end. Only 4 of them, but £13.99 for those 4. And that's going to be, yeah, right on the edge of the 2 kilos. I think that's just over. But lots of heavier bundles today, but although we make a little bit less money on them, I don't care, because I'm still making money, and that's kind of the key thing. Next we've got a bundle mixed of 2 authors. It is Liane Moriarty and Shari LaPena. So 4 LaPena books and 1 little Liane Moriarty that made up the bundle of 5, and they have sold for £10.49. So what's this thing that's bugging me? I was doing a bit of research. Yeah, actually I found some Dr. Seuss wee mini hardcover books. I was just looking up, see what they're selling for, you know, as you do. Double checking the banned ones to make sure I took them out, and came across somebody who had them listed, and I noticed that they had the banned ones listed within it. So I was just about to jump in, send them a wee message to say, by the way, be aware that you're not really allowed to sell these. You maybe want to just tweak your listing, up to you, but you know, make sure just in case people weren't aware, because it happens. You don't want somebody getting any kind of warning or strike just through a bit of ignorance that you would not expect, because kids books, you don't expect them to be like on the banned list as such. So clicked onto their details to contact the seller, and they popped up as a private seller. Now they've got hundreds of listings, they've sold hundreds and hundreds of items. It is, I could be wrong, but it looked very much like a typical reseller, everything seller business. You know, lots of different clothes with lots of different sizes and styles, bric-a-brac, some books, just that everything. Now, it could be somebody who's just having a clear out, but with the history on the account, it didn't appear so. So they are running an eBay business, but they're listed as a private seller, which annoys me for a few reasons. What are those reasons? Well, the first one isn't this, because it's a sale. 5 Dilly Court books, $12.99. First thing is, because I'm registered as a business, as most people who run a business are, the whole customer returns thing means that you're a business seller, therefore consumers have their rights, which is great, because, you know, having been a consumer myself, most days you want to make sure that you are protected, that if you're not getting what's expected, blah blah blah, you know, or you're able to make a return, all of these things. But if you're listed as a private seller, you don't have to do that, and it doesn't have any impact on your standing on eBay, because you're a private seller. If you say, I'm not taking returns, you don't have to take returns. That's absolutely fine. Second point, fees. As a business seller, you have a lot of fees that you need to pay to eBay. You also get a lot of advantages with promoted listings and such like, but you have to pay for the privilege of selling on eBay. If you're a private seller, then you get so many listings for free over a period of time. And this particular seller seems to have everything up just as an auction. It's kind of like a buy it now price, but they've listed it as auctions. So they are taking full advantage of that. They're not paying their fees. I am. And about a third of everything I take in a month goes back to eBay to pay for the fees. Now, I don't grudge that, because it's a fantastic platform to be part of. But if there's a high proportion of people who are just keeping themselves as private sellers, not switching over to a business, even though that's what they are, then that means that the fees get passed on to those business sellers who are registered as such, and that increases the burden on us, which is annoying. I don't know how much of a difference it would make. Maybe it would knock a couple of percentage off of what I would have to pay every month if everyone who was a business seller was registered as such. But really, really galling. If you want to be a business, be a business. It doesn't have to be a full-time thing. It doesn't have to be complicated. You're not going to hide from the tax man forever. At some point, these things will catch up with you and are likely to be to your detriment rather than your advantage. So it's just so annoying when you see these things, and I see it all the time. You know, doing product research, looking things up, and you come across somebody who's sold like 6,000 items. They've got 1,000 items listed. They've been trading for years, and they're listed as a private seller. eBay is obviously not actively going out and looking for these things. I'm not going to go in and report people. I'm not doing that. What people choose to do, people choose to do. You know, if somebody wants to do 70 mile an hour in a 30, they can do that. Somebody's going to catch them. It'll end up messy. If somebody wants to dodge their taxes, they'll get caught at some point. If somebody wants to be a private seller when they're a business, at some point it will catch up with them, and it'll be to their detriment. But it's just really annoying that others don't play by the rules to the detriment of everybody else. If we all played by the rules, life would be sweet. Anyway, enough of that moan. I have 3 Richard Osman books going out: Bullet the Mist, The Man Who Died Twice, and The Thursday Murder Club. No, I've only picked up 2 of them. I need to go and grab the green one. But the 3 of them went for, should be $9.99. Yes, $9.99 for 3 paperbacks. Next, a pre-made bundle. Some Peppa Pig. 8 Peppa Pig books, just the big floppy ones, paperbacks, and the 8 of those sold for $16.99. So these kids bundles do quite well. They don't sell often, but then I don't have a huge number of them listed. Maybe if I had more listed, I would sell more. That sounds logical, doesn't it? But $16.99 for that, very nice. Here we go, the second Martina Cole bundle. This one went for £16.74, because it's a slightly different balance. 3 hardcovers and 2 paperbacks compared to 2 hardcovers and 3 paperbacks. So £16.74. It's still on the buy 3 get 2 free, so people are getting a bargain in there. And Yes, that is an order. Right, where do we go to next? Oh, John Grisham. 5 John Grishams, 3 wee paperbacks, some Theodore Boones, a big paperback of A Painted House, and a nice first edition of Sycamore Road, which means that this lot went for $15.99. So these are nice prices for book bundles. I'm making roughly getting towards £1 a book on each of these, which is just exactly where I want to be. And then we have 5 Danielle Steels. 5 tidy little Danielle Steels. One of the authors where I just do them £2 a book, so $9.99 it works out as for 5 of those, because it's buy 3 get 2 free plus £3.99 postage, therefore £9.99. And they're moving a lot quicker since I've changed to that structure. I mean, getting back to the private sellers versus business sellers, I mean, what do you think? Am I wrong? Should I criticise people for just taking advantage of the system and doing what they can? Or do you agree that those that try and sit outside it have a negative impact on all of us? Is it, when you're buying stuff, do you think about whether or not it's a private seller or a business seller? I'm not sure that I do. I don't think I even particularly look at that, to be honest. The only reason I noticed it in this case and in a few other cases is because I was going in to try and make contact with the seller, which I didn't bother doing once I saw they were a private seller. No, that's, from that point I don't care. So if anything does happen with regards to that listing, it's on them. But should people play the game, take advantage? It's a bit like the Vinted. So Vinted is not for business sellers. I know they were changing that. Is that come in now? I don't know. But previously you could go into Vinted and it was blatantly obvious that people were selling stuff as a business. You know, too many different sizes and styles and different bits and pieces. But Vinted is a great platform for, you know, you don't have any fees that you pay, so anything that you sell it for is coming to you. It's quick, it's easy, it's not quite as controlled as eBay, so it's fantastic from that point of view. Should people have been doing that? I don't know. In Vinted, there wasn't another option. If you wanted to sell in Vinted, you just had to sell in Vinted. With eBay though, you can be a private seller or you can be a business seller. Business sellers pay more, so that private sellers can sell for free essentially. But I don't know, what do you think? Do you agree? Should we all just be private sellers until we need the business benefits, or should anyone who is operating as a business of any kind be registered as such and pay all the relevant fees? Tell me what you think in the comments. Obviously, you know, don't just shout at the screen. That's not going to work. Anywho, couple more orders. Just picked this up the other day, the Rare Record Price Guide 2020. I've got a few books like this and they don't move very fast at all, but this one's gone quite quickly for £10.98. So it was £6.99, £3.99 postage, £10.98. Lovely condition, big book, all about rare records. And that takes us to the last order for now. I'm just going to hit the refresh button in case anything's popped in whilst I've been chatting. We've got L.J. Ross. So another really popular author. Cannot get enough of them. I really wish I could get my hands on more. And I just picked up that one yesterday. So Death Rocks, it's the new, I think it's our newest paperback. Excellent condition, and that got another 2 sold alongside it. So again, 3 paperbacks, £9.99. So someone's getting a good deal out of that. And that's all the orders I've got so far. 160 quid in that lot. So a third to eBay, a third in postage, a third to me. What's that? £50-ish, roughly, profit back into the business out of that lot. And that means I can go out and buy another 50 quid's worth of books. Yay! I did have a bit of a pickup yesterday. I'm trying to pick up as much as possible at the moment, just to kind of ride the wee wave that I've got going at the moment. Sales haven't gone crazy or anything like that, but they've just been nicely consistent, just above where they were over last month, the month before that. So just trying to keep the stock up, keep that going. The more you have, the more you list, as long as it's the right stuff. Obviously, the more you're going to sell. So that extra couple of wee sales every day, if I keep piling up the stock, is in the long run going to work out well for me. Did I get anything particularly interesting yesterday? Yes and no. Some slightly nicer hardcovers that go for £10 to £15. Erin Morgenstern, can't I say her name? But yeah, nothing spectacular, just a good solid pickup of bits and bobs. I have been picking up a few Bibles lately because they seem to be selling reasonably well for okay money, some of them. So I grabbed another 2 or 3 of them yesterday, just different editions, as long as they're nice and clean. Just get them listed, see where they go. One of them I listed for £3, one of them listed for £15. The other one I can't remember. So it's a nice wee mix in there as well, and that's something new that I have been looking for and picking up in the last couple of weeks. But other than that, pretty straightforward day. I don't know if I'm going to get outsourcing today. I've got a few other things I need to get done, including putting away hundreds of books that I have listed. So I list them, I stack them, and then I take them to the stockroom and put them away. But I've been doing that much listing and stacking that I've not gotten round to putting them away for the last 2 or 3 days, to be honest. So I've got a few hundred books that I need to get shifted, put into place. There's always a couple of stacks waiting to get put away, which is fine because it's just part of the rotation and the process. I mean, there's a couple of stacks. If something's not on the shelf, it takes a second to run your eye down that stack. But when you've got 16 stacks waiting to get put away, then if there's something's not on the shelf, it takes a lot longer to go through all of those and find them. So that's not efficient, it's not effective, and everything's about being efficient and effective if you want to make any money doing anything at all. So that's what I'm going to do. Also, I had a wee thought. I wonder if I was to go into Ziffit or We Buy Books or Music Magpie, one of these things, and scan every single book I've got in stock, what would it be worth? I don't know. I did run through a pile of about 60 books, and some of them were like 60p and £1, some were 10p, some of them weren't worth anything at all. But it worked out on that sample that on average, I think it was about 28 pence a book that I would be getting paid for. So if I'm paying 25, 30p, you know, it just, there's no point in sending them off to Ziffit when I can make, you know, nearly £1 a book selling them through eBay. But I was just kind of curious as to if you were to scan in that many books at once, so we're talking about 11,000 books, what would Ziffit say? I don't know, maybe if I've got a bored weekend, I'll do that. Maybe when I'm moving my stock to hopefully a new spot, I might have a wee crack at it then. But I don't know. We'll have a think. What do you think? Is it worthwhile just scanning everything off, sending it off, making a low value quick buck, or sitting on it and making a bit more money as it goes? Yeah. Anyway, that is all for now. I'm going to get this lot packed up, dropped off at the Royal Mail, and see what the day brings us. All right. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.